Hi, I'm Errol Flynn reporting for Whistler Cable 6, and we've completed the first day's events of the Extreme Ski Racing event. With me right now is Eric Pehota, the rumored winner, first place, local boy. Man, he does well. Eric, well, what'd you think of the event?
I thought it was, well put together event. Had a lot of fun. I wouldn't call the event so much extreme skiing, but more of a free skiing event. Whoever linked his turns together and took some good air and came out the bottom with a good speed, shined.
You obviously did extremely well. I mean, you put together 3 really solid runs. No matter what anybody says, it was great. You looked well. You got the air. You had the lines. I mean, what did you do when you're standing up at the top up there? Were you just sort of putting yourself in there and trying to figure out exactly where you wanted to go, or was it like, I'm going down here and I hope I can stay up?
Yeah, well, you kind of mentally go through it in your mind, what line you want to do, and if everything goes smooth, you pull off the line, but if not, you might have to alter something halfway down. But fortunately, everything went pretty well today. I was a little jittery on my first run, got a little back seat, but held it together on the second and third, and I felt I skied strong. I've been riding my bike lots, feeling pretty good shape right now, and I just think good strong skiing, is going to win it today, and that's what I tried to do.
Well, you're talking about strong skiing. All these competitors are pretty good skiers. I mean, we're talking about the best that we can get around the area. You're a local boy. I mean, you know the mountain. Do you think you had an advantage?
Actually, I'd have to say I think I had more pressure put on me from my friends and whatnot, but shook that off, and maybe a little advantage, hometown. Maybe know the turf a little better and know where it's going to be a little ISO, a little softer on the rocks, and to stay away from a few problem areas and whatnot. But for the area we had to work with, I think it was pretty fair for everybody because it wasn't a big area, and you could just go there and ski it in 2 days and basically figure out what you had to do.
What was the toughest part about getting ready for today's competition, then finally getting into it?
Oh, waking up off my hangover. Just kidding. Just getting up and trying to kick the morning butterflies and just pull it together and try to be really calm about it and look at your line and just try to figure things out in a fairly calm manner.
As the day progressed, the snow conditions changed. It looked pretty crusty up there this morning, and it seemed to get softer and softer as the day progressed because of the sun and the temperatures. Did you notice that when you were skiing after there?
Oh yeah, the first run, like I said, it was a little jittery. Hit some hard snow, a little back seat, but as the day progressed, it softened up, got a little more consistent. But like I said, a few guys had some problems where they got a little too close to some rocks, and the snow was really isothermic and very soft, and they got into a few problems. And I think if you were smart enough to stay away from that and on the more firm snowpack and turn it up, I think you're way further ahead.
Now, everybody, you were judged on 3 different categories. One was basically air, one was speed, and one was use of the terrain. Do you feel that you actually had one thing that was more outstanding than the rest of the competitors as far as one of those categories? Or do you think you just generally put the whole thing together? You look like you nailed it pretty good.
I just tried to ski it a little fairly aggressively and fairly quick, and just keep trying to link the turns without stopping in between turn, and just keep things flowing and moving. And I just tried to do that today, and it worked out fairly well for me. And I think that was the key today. Just keep things flowing, not jamming on turns, and keep the momentum going. And coming out in the bowl, 2-turn Super G and down to the moraine, I love that. Speed going fast through bumps.
Yeah, they don't take your pass away either. It's kind of great.
Yeah.
Listen, with the competitors and the quality of the competitors that we had, what do you think of this kind of format for a type of an event like this? Do you think it's something that's going to continue to grow?
I think it could grow for sure, as long as it's really controlled in a controlled way. I think it's really tough to have an event like this just open to the public. Like, most people up there today are, they've been doing it a long time and they're fairly proficient at what they do, and, it's all it's risk, right? And if you can just keep it together and, I forget what I was going to say.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll pull some more stuff out here. Blackcomb and Growers really put on a very good event for you people, and if they're going to have it next year, do you think you want to come back and try this one more time?
Oh yeah, I think I'd love to come back and do it again.
Well, now of course you're the defending champion.
Putting up $5,000, I'll be back.
Really? Why, do you need the money?
Yeah, I desperately do. I want to go put a down payment on a chunk of land, buy a little ski hill in the interior, so hopefully I won some money today, and that'll really come in handy for me to get on with life and, help things out.
Great. Well, I'll tell you, talking to all the competitors up here, they're very convinced that you definitely are going to get a little chunk of money here today.
I certainly hope so. I need it.
Eric, listen, thank you very, very much for coming over and talking to us. We appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're now going to be the defending champ here.
I hope so.
Come on back and take care of it next year for us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for coming.
All right.
Great, appreciate it. Thanks. This is Errol Flynn, and we are going to get a couple of the other competitors in a couple of seconds. As a matter of fact, here comes the man that just finished second. Justin,
how you doing?
How are you now?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, what did you think of the event today?
The event was held pretty well. It went over pretty much what I expected to. There's only 10 people in the event, so it went over really smoothly. Any more than that, it would have gone a lot rougher, I'm sure. A lot more injuries and stuff.
With the quality of skiers that we witnessed today, do you feel that, I mean, obviously everybody has a technical ability. I mean, these guys are the tops in the in the world around for doing this kind of thing. Do you feel that this kind of event's got a future?
It's got a future. I know there's a lot more people out there that deserve to be in these events. Although the level of competitor here was very high today. We were in Alaska, and the level of competitor ranged from very low to very high. And here it was up in the higher area. So I liked it for that. I mean, the top 10, these competitors were the top 10, definitely.
Well, you know, anybody that's going to be watching some of the video of the event today is going to take a look at this and say, you know, safety's got to be some kind of factor in here. But I know you guys are proficient skiers, but everybody watching's got to wonder, I mean, how concerned are you with all that?
Well, it's nice to know you got patrol hanging out on the ridge for you, and therefore you can boost up the level of performance a bit, you know. But everybody's safe. They picked the line that they knew they were capable of. A few people dumped on them, but, you know, nobody got hurt, and that's the way it went.
Absolutely. Now, you were up in Alaska for the first event, basically the forerunner to this event. I know that was really well run. It was like on terrain that was just absolutely incredible. What did you think of the terrain here at Blackcomb?
For inbounds terrain, phenomenal. Definitely phenomenal. Blackcomb's got lots to offer. I have to say that Alaska was a lot longer, a lot steeper in parts. It was much more grueling.
Nice food or what?
But to be an inbound event and have this many spectators and media, it went over really well. I was happy with it.
Okay, tell me a little bit, Justin. How did you end up in second place? I mean, everybody was going for speed, everybody was going for air, everybody was trying to take care of their line. What made you that far ahead of everybody else?
Just I had good fast runs, good powerful runs, and I did unusual things. I was keeping people on their toes, coming out of nowhere, you know, coming off spots that other people weren't thinking of. And I think that's really originality plays a big part.
Did you pre-plan a lot of the run?
A lot of that was spur of the moment, but you know, my second run, I had done that 3 years ago when I was here, so I knew what I was doing on that run.
Well, you look great. I mean, the speed coming down, watch you guys go was just something to behold, and I know that all the spectators out there really enjoyed it. It was great. I know that the people that were presenting it, Blackcomb.
I ski for those people, for sure.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you, they really, really enjoyed it. What, now, you're going back down to Colorado, are you? Mm-hmm. And you're going to be down there for what?
Probably I'm going to be there all summer, but we're still skiing there for another 3 weeks in Colorado. It's the only place open is the Arapahoe Basin, so sun in the fun, you know, fun in the sun.
What about an event like this down in Colorado?
Could very well be held. Crested Butte's got tons of extreme stuff to offer. A-Basin's got tons of extreme stuff. It's going to take a few years before, I can see it becoming a circuit, you know, an extreme skiing circuit, but it's going to take a few years before mountain companies find it liable for them, you know, as far as their insurance policies are concerned, to be able to hold an event like that.
Do you feel pretty comfortable, though, today with all the runs?
Yeah, definitely felt comfortable. I really enjoyed that hill.
Well, listen, we want to see you back up here next year when they run the event. Congratulations on your second place finish. You've now got a third, you've got a second. Hey, first isn't that far
We're getting
away,
somewhere, getting somewhere.
Great to meet you. Congratulations.
When's the third one going to be?
Hey, we're going to organize it. You and I, we'll put it together. Right. Congratulations again. Thanks very much for dropping by for Whistler Cable 6. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's Justin, and I'm Errol Flynn. We'll be right back
attention, please.
After this break.
Hello back there. The first extreme event that we've held here at Blackcomb Mountain.
Hi, right now with me is Rob Boyd, one of the judges in today's event. Rob, this was an amazing event, and it's we're crashing new ground here. How did you judge it?
Exactly, it was very difficult the first few guys. We really didn't know what we were going to see or didn't really know what to expect. So we actually waited a few people before we actually marked everybody. You know, just to see the caliber of skiing, what we were going to see. There was three kind of categories. There's aggressiveness and the air time, and then style or technique. and we marked each person like 10 points for each of those, and out of an average of 30. So I don't know. We really didn't know what was going to happen here. You know, being a new event and everything's sort of new. So it was interesting to see everything work out well. From when we talked to other people, it seemed to be the answer for the way this should be judged.
Well, you know, talking to the competitors, they all agreed that the way that the competitors finished up, they felt that was probably the way they should have finished up. The skiing that they had done out there was certainly it was a first. The extremeness of the event was kind of unique in that the speed was very important, the air was important, and the use of the terrain. Now that's very difficult for anybody to judge. Is there one thing that sort of stood out in your mind? Was the air more important, or was it all pretty much in balance?
In balance, really. For instance, Chris Kenna, you know, I kind of pick him as a favorite because he, you know, I skied with him for many years. He's been on the national team, and he did have very good technique and skied very fast. He had a lot of speed going with him, but he didn't take a whole lot of air time. And talking to him, he was saying how, you know, maybe it's not quite worth that much to him to chance, you know, injury in some of those jumps that the winners took today. So it, you know, it all balanced out. There was very good technique with Peyote, and I think all the top 5 really did ski very well. It was just a matter of kind of ballsy moves, I guess.
Well, you sitting over there on the sideline judging this, wouldn't you rather have been in the event? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if I would push myself that hard to say take a jump like Peyote did.
It was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Yes, from the judges' view, it's right in front of us, and it was very impressive. That was almost kind of how it almost felt. The judging was just how much you got the spectators' heartbeats going. Like you're almost like right in there with them, watching them do these moves. It was pretty neat to see.
Well, we at the top, I'm telling you, everybody that went down, we were feeling what they were going through, and it was pretty spectacular watching the event. Well, did you feel that you had a pretty good vantage point from where you people were located? Could you see the entire run?
Yeah, we could pretty we can just cut there for a minute, but 3.
So, Rob, from your vantage point, did you have a good field of vision to watch everybody and how they're performing?
We could see pretty much everybody, except for one fellow who came off up above us behind a few rocks, and one that did quite a long jump right below us. It was a very impressive jump because you could hear the scrape of skis as he went off. Silent sound while he was in the air, and then landed, and he skied out of it fine. I really wish we could have seen that. And also a jump up above us that we couldn't really see, the one that Justin did, I believe. I don't know, if this type of event were to happen again, I think it would be advantageous to build the judges stand so that we can see it all, or else you know, corridor it off to where the judges can view it. But
to narrow it off so you got a better feel of the whole thing.
But then the competitors may not like that because there's not as much area to ski. Like after 3 runs, you can see everybody was pretty much tired and skiing the same type of runs. They're tired of that small area. They got it skied out pretty quick, and to enlarging the area, I think would be good.
Well, you guys did a great job judging today, and I've got one little question to ask you. I mean, after your downhill days are finished and, you know, the glory's sort of going, do you think you might find yourself in an event like this? Maybe?
Perhaps, yeah, if I'm short on cash or something, who knows?
Rob, listen, congratulations. Good luck for next year, eh?
Thank you.
Thanks for dropping by and helping us out and judging the event. We really appreciate it.
That was a lot of fun.
Good luck. Thanks a lot. Okay, thank you. With me right now is Scott Aiken from Roslyn, BC. Scott had one heck of a run, didn't you, Scott?
You want to tell us a little bit about it? Well, I was dropping in, and off the top, I pulled a chopper off the top. And I was coming down, and there's a little rock bluff that everyone was catching air off, you know, so I thought I'd cut across, and as I was cutting across, it was really soft snow, and I sunk down about a foot or two. I got over my skis, and I just tumbled into the rock and cut my arm and stuff. It was really bad.
Well, to tell you the truth, it looked spectacular up until that time. I mean, it was a heck of a run. We were giving you all kinds of points.
Yeah,
You're pretty fortunate, though, to actually stop yourself, and that was great. But now you're not seriously hurt. That's great. We're glad to hear that. What did you think of the event and the way it was put on?
Well, it's great. You know, everything was well put together, and you know, everyone, all the skiers were great. You know, really tough competition, and everything else just went really good. Some sweet runs and all that. Everything was great.
Scott, were you surprised at the speed that a lot of these guys were carrying going down through there, or?
Well, some of the guys, they were just, you know, just flying, and it was, you know, but they can handle it. You know, they were in control. So if you can go that fast and stay in control, why not?
Did you feel that air was going to be the most important thing as opposed to, say, speed and use of terrain?
I thought it would be because back home, you know, that's all we do is big airs and not much on, you know, we can ski steeps and stuff, but mostly we do air. So I thought air would be the big thing today, but we saw it with speed and style, and where you picked your line was the most important, really.
What did you think of the terrain? Did you enjoy the mountain, or is you know, there was a lot of rocks out there? We know that, but what did you think of the terrain?
Overall, it was good. You know, there was a lot of rocks, as you see. But you know, the skiing was really great. It was really sunny. You know, everything was great. Nice skiing, I thought.
So if they have the event next year, you coming back?
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Listen, congratulations on even showing up, and I'm glad that you're all right. We know it was a nasty tumble. You came out of it very well. We'd like to thank you very much for dropping by and saying hi to us. Good luck next year.
Yeah, thanks very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. With me will be coming up in a couple of seconds will be Chris Kent. Chris finished fourth in the event. The official finishing order for the event was a local boy, Eric Pejota, finished first. 3 solid, great runs. Justin from Colorado was second. Pretty amazing skier. And the quiet one of the bunch, Tom Jungst, he finished third, and looking forward to coming back next year. We're right back with Chris Kent to summarize today's events. With me right now, Chris Kent. Chris finished fourth in this event, you know, and Chris, hey, you own the Sudan. Tell me about the fourth place finish. I mean, that was a heck of a competition.
Well, I didn't really know what to expect getting into it, and it reminded me a little of the first time I went into the Sudan Couloir race. I didn't really know what to expect. So, I mean, it's not like I didn't get nervous or anything beforehand. I pumped up for it all right, but when I got into it, I realized that it was something you really had to psych up for. So my first run was a bit mediocre, and then the next 2 runs I got a better idea what was required, and I had to psych up. It was much like back in the days of ski racing. You got to psych up for each run, and I got into it. I figure if I could have had maybe 2 more runs, I probably would have been a little more comfortable.
You would have won it, right?
Well, of course. But
well, of course, we know that. To tell you that.
No, Errol, I really think that Eric deserved to win, because what he did, I don't think I would have done it.
He put in 3 solid runs, but you know, I watched your runs, and you're right. You're the first guy out of the gate. You took off. It was the first time you'd ever even been involved in this event. Each run that you took got more aggressive, and more aggressive. So obviously you started getting into it, and I feel, of course, that if you had had a couple more runs, you probably would have been right on top of the game. However, the speed that you were carrying, the technique and the finesse that you were carrying was outstanding, and it was obvious.
Well, I think that having a racing background adds to that. The thing is, the difference between racing and extreme skiing is that in extreme skiing you got to put on a bit of a show. Racers are always trying to ski as efficiently as possible, and sometimes it just doesn't look as exciting. Although, of course, the guys, number one, actually the first 3 guys, they took some pretty good risks. They took some Herculean risks, and just to get those few extra points to be in the top 3. They were willing to take the risks, and maybe my efficiency, maybe it's the conservatism of it all. I don't know.
Well, Chris, if you didn't need the money, I mean, if you hadn't needed the money, I'm sure those risks would have been there for you.
Well, you know, maybe if it was 25 grand, things might have been different. But it's good. It was good for a first attempt here, and this could well have some merit to it.
Are we going to look forward to seeing you in this event next year?
Who knows, Errol? I'm turning 30 this year, and I don't know. Maybe I'll put on a cardigan and a pair of slippers and get my Lazy Boy shipped out here. But what do you think?
You're definitely there. I'll tell you, I talked to Rob just a little while earlier, and he said, nah, he wasn't keeners on it at all. He figures he's going to hang up the downhills, and that'll be the end of that.
Boyd?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if he does that, well, I'll give him at most a 1 year delay for that event.
And then he'll be back up at it. Now, you went down, and you were judged on air, you were judged on use of terrain, and you were judged on speed. Obviously, you feel that the air plays a little bit more, is a little more important, especially if it's pulled off in front of the judges.
Well, they lead you to believe that they really care about technique and control and so on, but in fact, what they want is airtime and big spills, And I got, it was my second run, and I took a spill and kept going. I mean, that was, I don't even know if can you cut that?
Chris, do you feel that the air is probably the most dominant portion of the event?
Yeah, well, when we got into it, everybody was led to believe that, skiing style and technique and control were actual factors. But once we got into it and we did the first run, we all sort of figured out that you got to take air, you got to take chances, and you got to look extreme. That's what it's all about. It's a made-for-film event, and that's what's going to go in the film, and that's what everybody wants in the crowd, the judges, and everybody. So definitely air is the overriding factor, and that's the reason Toyota won. He got the big air at the end. He took the 40-foot cliff, and he had the gumption to do that, and I didn't quite have that today.
Next time, maybe.
Well, it depends on the day.
And the snow conditions. Listen, congratulations on your fourth place finish. I mean, you're talking with 10 of the probably the best skiers around the area, and certainly we were invited up. You did extremely well. We're very proud of you being a local boy. We kind of want you to do well. So, congratulations. We'll see you in the Sudan Couloir race next year for sure, right?
Okay, thanks, Errol.
Thanks very much, Chris. This is Errol Finn along with Chris Kent, Colin, our cameraman, reporting for Whistler Cable 6.